Hey everyone, so yesterday we sorted out the listing detail page. We added this neat map with markers for each item's location. It's all done using a simple JSON file to grab the latitude and longitude from postcodes. Then bam, we put it in a map using the leaflet JavaScript library. It's a sick and simple library, right? So we don't need to use the Google map anymore, and it's free. So for today we are rolling up our sleeves for the big one, which is the rental system. The rental booking system, whether you're lending out your items or renting an item, we need to make it super user friendly. So the user need to select the date range, and they should be able to rent their items from a lender. This system is going to be all about hassle-free transaction, clear info, and security. We want everyone to feel confident when they're sharing their stuff, so we need to make sure it's very smooth and user-friendly. So let's jump into it. I really want to make it very simple and try to find the easiest way to do it because there are many ways of handling the booking system. But I really want to make it very easy, and so it's easier for managing it and extending it in the future. For that, we need to first lay out what we really want from this booking system. So we have the user and we have the booking system. So you have this booking system. Every time you have this, okay, let's go from listing. So every listing has a lender or owner, user, and they have location, they have photos, and what do they have? Description, and price per day, price per week, price per month. So for someone to rent this item, we need to keep the number of rentals in a table. We can call it rentals. So every time a user comes and pick this item, we need to check with database to see if it's available for a specific period of time. For example, if I want to rent an item from February 3rd until 6th, then this should send a request back to the backend from rentals and see if there is a record. We can call it rentals controller, for example. And then this should return available or unavailable. Based on that, we can decide whether can rent, and we should show here. So this can rent should disable the dates or gray them out so the user cannot select that date range. That could be a bit tricky. So what should we do is, I think we can send them an array of numbers. Maybe that is difficult. maybe a hash. So it would be like a array of hashes that, no, a 2D array, like an array, a nested array. So we have 2 unavailable, 3 sorry, first available, seconds available, third unavailable, like that until 30th. Then we can draw this from on the front end. Not sure how viable is this solution, but I think it's very simple. So we can discuss it with ChatGPT, our best friend. So I'm building a rental platform for users to rent items from lenders, owners, and I decided to come up with a rentals table that keeps track of each listing being booked or rented, and we a new an API rentals controller that checks whether an item is available for a period of time, and for that specific rental, and for the rental table, which user can select a date range, I'm going to return a 2D array of 30 days of if an listing is available or not. So is this a viable solution, and how would you do it instead? Okay, so ChatGPT is saying that we need to, instead of returning a 2D array, we can send a list of dates that is not available. It's not going to be efficient for a long period of time. So if you go with 30 days, then it's gonna be 30 times 2, 30 listings. Yeah, so the query is gonna be a bit slow. So we have 30 items, 30 times we need to query the database. So it's basically a on plus 1 something. Yeah. Or time 2. Maybe not a great idea. We can also go to like a travel booking.com. This is basically how they do it. So they allow you to select the date range, and when you interesting thing is that booking.com is using Ruby on Rails as well, if you don't know. So when I click search, it search for destination. In our cases would be a listing ID, check-in, checkout, group. Makes sense. And then based on that, it's gonna return a response. Yeah, so it does server side render. Okay, to keep it optimized, we don't have to show. I mean, it would be nice to show which dates aren't available, but maybe it's not the most efficient way to do it, because if the user I like this idea of returning a 2D array, but not sure if it's the best idea. Yeah, because they should have a check availability here. I think yeah, so in this page we should show check price and availability. But yeah, we cannot allow the user to select a day range in this page. So instead, we just need to the way I done it in the past is for a travel agency, and the difference between a travel agency, like a booking system for traveling compared to renting an item, is that the user experience is the same, but for travel agency you know that a flight can be unavailable, and for an item maybe it doesn't sound as straight. So if you can If we can show that the item is rented in the calendar, it would be perfect in terms of user experience. So I'm not sure, should we do that here or after the user selected a date range, then we can show an information here that I think that is the best way. So what I'm gonna do is exactly that. So we can rent, it should be per we cannot return true or false. So if I select the date range from 3rd of February until the 9th, but the 3rd is not available, the 4th is not available, but 5th and 6th and 7th are available, so we need to return. We can return only the available dates and ignore the unavailable dates. I think that's gonna make it a lot faster. So let's generate the rentals listing preferences, start date, date time, end date, date time, status string, user ID. This is the renter. And actually it shouldn't be belongs to. Each renter record have one user. That's good. Pending, accepted, rejected, cancelled. So in that case, we need to make the status integer. So if I if I want to create a rental for listing last, it has no, yeah, the reason for that, so we don't need to they said that rentals doesn't have a, how is it possible? Oh, owner ID. Interesting. So we need to check if the rental is available. So default perfect. So user cannot rent a listing that is already rented. How can we check? I think two test cases. Rental creation says default the status to pending by default. So two validations. The first one, one validation is to make sure the user cannot rent the same item twice. And we're gonna have a helper method. So what can we do? We can use the current user can rent and then rental. Overlapping rentals. We can extract this into a concern, so we can add it into our user model. So every time the user is logged in the view, we can call user can rent and listing, and we can give a start. And so in the rental controller we can check the current user. So we are halfway there. We just need a controller, Rails, controller, rentals. We need index and we need create. So for the index, we should show the view for calendar. So if I want to rent this, now we don't have any button here for check availability. So let's fix that. And then that should redirect us to rentals page, which is going to show a calendar. Seems to be an issue. I cannot scroll. I'm building a rental platform for users to rent items. So if you have an expensive item that you're not using it, you can list it on a website and allow people to rent it from you, and you get money. Sure, you can steal my idea. Important part is that you need to execute it. You can steal. Idea doesn't mean anything. Let's see who builds that faster. We need to move the controller to, or maybe we don't need to, so we can just check price and availability. We need to make sure this sticks to the bottom of the page. So we can do absolute bottom 0. For the listing, Hello, Amaka from Nigeria. Hello, brother. What's up? What time is it there? Nothing is really going on. I'm just building my startup idea live. So I have to commit my time to it. Otherwise, I just procrastinate. So every Saturday and Sunday, I will spend 1 or 2 hours streaming and I build my idea. This is really forces me to commit and get things done. Oh, that's nice. So basically it's your afternoon or your morning still. That's nice. From Nigeria. I used to have a colleague from Nigeria. For 2-3 months we worked together. He was a nice guy. He was a I think React.js developer. He was pretty good. Cybersecurity. What do you do? Do you like penetration testing? Or what do you do? Do you hack things? Oh, nice. Still learning. Yeah, I was once interested in becoming a hacker and I was studying Linux. I forgot the name. Linux Foundation certificates. I don't know. Is it? Let me search for that. Yeah, Red Hat. Yeah, CompTIA Linux Plus. Yeah, I was studying to get that certificate once. I was 18 at the time. Yeah. I've been a Linux user for almost 10 years. But then later I started using Mac OS because of my company. Then I think the ecosystem is very convenient compared to Linux. It's not very cool compared to Linux, but you can get shit done. In Linux, a lot of things can go wrong and you need to spend a lot of time figuring out how to fix things, which is a waste of time if you're really building things. But if you're hacking and if you're working for yourself, it's very fun. Yeah. But if you're working for others, it's a waste of time. No, I didn't get it because at the time I had to pay someone. I think I had to go take a class, and in Iran we didn't have a institution that can issue. Yeah, so using what was that, Linux distribution? I forgot the name, the one that they use it for hacking. Kali Linux. Yeah, I was using Kali Linux. I was very good. I was writing a lot of shell scripts and Perl and PHP at the time to do SQL injection. I think if you're very good at cybersecurity, there are very few people compared to developers. The market is very saturated. A lot of people jump into developing websites, and everyone is a developer nowadays. But for cybersecurity, I think if you're very good, you can make a lot of money because not a lot of people into it, because it's quite hard. You need to study systems like weaknesses, Linux, kernel penetration, and keep up with all the patches and updates that come to for each operating system, so you can write what is it called, viruses. Yeah, or if you're really like a white hat hacker, then you can find some bounty reward. Some companies run some events that you need to find bug in their system, and they pay a lot, like $500,000, 200,000, 100,000 if you find some security. But you must be very good. It's a very hard field to get into. The competition is low, but becoming very good at it takes years. Not just simple like hacking a Wi-Fi. Yeah, anyone can do that. Anyways, so now I need to remove this navigation bar so we can allow the user to check the price and availability. And right now it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, now it's working. So that's good. But we need to go to navigation, navbar, and get this. I think 32 should be okay. Check price and availability. Yeah, getting a job is completely different than being good at something, because for getting a job you need to have communication skills, really need to like how to tell a story, how to sell yourself. I know like a lot of guys that are amazing at what they do, but they have hard time getting jobs because they cannot answer questions, they stuck in some problems, they cannot do like interview challenges. Yeah, so you need to just find out in your field. I'm not sure because I never done it, but for cybersecurity you need to find out there is a lot of YouTube videos, people explain how to get jobs. But I don't think it should be hard to get a job unless you are very lazy. Yeah. So if you spend the right time like reading enough material and learning from others, then it should be very simple. Like first job I got, it was like pretty amazing. At the time I was looking for a job for Ruby, and no one was really hiring. The market was very like trash, and basically no one was using Ruby, everyone was using Python. So what I did, I started searching every company, every keyword in Google for any companies that are using Ruby. So I find all the websites in my country that mention anything about Ruby, and I find their emails and I send them email that I'm a Ruby developer and I'm very good at it. If do you need any help, so I can join your company and I can help you like developing that. And the funny thing is one of them actually replied and I got hired after a week. I just got there, I go there for an interview and they see that I'm good and I'm not bullshitting, and they said you can start at the beginning of the month. Yeah. And at the time I was like I think 19 years old, 18 years old. Yeah. But before that I was using Python mostly. Yeah. No, I didn't have any certificate for, I mean, I do not believe in certificates, but maybe in some countries are very difficult without that. I heard that in Australia they really care about certificates. If you have certificate, you can get jobs easier. I mean, I heard that. I never went there. Yeah, so I think you need to check what is working for your market, and in Nigeria how it works, or if you want to get a remote job in that specific company, what is their policies. Oh, that is nice. So if you teach something, you already put yourself as an authority, and if you can teach something that is very good, then you can sell that to your employer, and you're building your personal brand in terms of providing cybersecurity services. I teach and I coach. So I think that will make things very easier for your employer to understand how knowledgeable you are compared to someone who just have a PDF resume. So I think you have a high chance of getting a job if you apply enough. It's a volume game, man. You need to just apply as much as you can. Yeah, it's very simple getting a job, but most people give up. They apply like 20 jobs and they say there is no job. Yeah. I remember the first time I tried to move out of my country, I applied I think maybe 300, 400 jobs, and I didn't get any response from them, even a rejection. Like no one did it, like no one cared. But as long as I bypassed that number, like 400, 450, I started seeing a lot of like 10, like 5, 10 people started to reply back, oh, sorry, we are not looking at the moment, but we keep you in the loop. And a few were interested, and I ended up getting like 3 offers. Yeah, that's nice. So I think the earlier you start, the faster you get a job. Yeah, in applying for jobs, most people, they think that very like 5, 10 companies, they find them and they apply and they say there is no job. like that is a like child's play. If you want to get a job, you need to apply, you need to improve your resume, you apply, you get better, you again and again and again, you get interviews and until you find a job. And after each interview you become better and better and more confident, because you start to learn what kind of question they ask, how to get into these companies, how to write them email, how to actually build your PDF and like build your resume in a way that they can reply. So you get better at it. It's like any other like craft. With time and enough tries, you're gonna get a job. Yeah. But if you're very like bad, then maybe you should start investing in yourself and trying to become better at it. If you get a lot of rejections, maybe you should go back and revisit the knowledge that you have and think that, is it really what the companies are hiring for? Am I really that good, or I'm just maybe overconfident? And try to, based on the interview results, you're gonna see that. Yeah. I see. So when we use the rentals, it goes to the No, I'm not from India. Um, actually based in Bangkok. Yeah, I'm Iranian, by the way. I'm not Indian. Thank you. Thanks, man. I hope you get a job very quickly. Just keep applying. And keep me posted. Anyways, so now we have the rentals page ready. The only thing we need to do is to add the calendar. Yes, sure. Share your channel, no problem. I don't have a lot of subscribers anyway, so but I'm gonna check your content. No worries. I think the first thing we need to do is to add a calendar, and based on what my designer did, it's going to be a challenge making it very fancy. It's been already 1 hour. It's crazy. Time passed very quickly. The calendar must be no problem, man. Thanks for subscribing. Okay, I need to stop the stream. Maybe I stream again today, but I need to leave. Thanks for everyone who stayed with me and watched the stream.